Ladies and gentlemen, if we could have the parents of the senior baseball players come down to the first base gate, we will begin our pregame ceremony. Thank you.
Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome into Legion Field here in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon, as we get ready for today's Southwest Conference doubleheader between your Roseburg Indians and the visiting Sheldon Irish. Welcome into today's broadcast of Roseburg Baseball here on 1490 The Score. I'm Joey Keyran. Happy to have you here with us on a beautiful Saturday, what will turn to an afternoon as we get ready for Game 1 of today's doubleheader. The Roseburg Indians hosting the Sheldon Irish today, looking to possibly pull off the season sweep against the Irish for the first time since 2010. The Indians picking up their first win against the Sheldon Irish in quite some time. In the first game of this series, back on April 10th, a 7-4 victory for Roseburg, snapping a 10-game losing streak against the Sheldon Irish. And today they look to try and pick up a pair of wins and get the sweep against Sheldon and also quite possibly clinch their playoff berth for the 2018 season. A lot riding on the line as we've gotten into the final couple of weeks of the regular season for high school baseball. We're happy to have you here with us here today from Legion Field. For those that are tuning in, we want to let you know today's game is streaming with video online at 541radio.com on the 1490 The Score homepage. Feel free to check that out there and watch the action with us online and be able to catch all the action there throughout the rest of the season. We are now streaming with YouTube, so if you've got a smart TV or maybe a PlayStation or an Xbox, you can also stream the game on YouTube and watch it on your big screen there at home. If you might be there at home or traveling with a tablet or an iPhone, you can also watch it online there as well. A lot of ways to keep up with the Roseburg Indians today. Coming in with a 12-6 record this season, Sheldon 9-11. Big matchup coming up for us here today. This is your Dr. Kopernik Family Dental pregame show. Dr. Kopernik, they go out of their way to make your experience warm, comfortable, and friendly. Call Dr. Kopernik today at 673-6525 or stop by at 1600 Northwest Hewwood in Roseburg. Coming up throughout the pregame show, we will break down this matchup between the Indians and the Irish. But coming up next, we get a chance to catch up with head coach Troy Thompson. It is our pregame coaches interview brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, so stay with us for that. We'll have a word with Coach Thompson coming up after this break. We'll go ahead and take our first break of the pregame show, and when we come back, we continue to break down today's matchup. It's Roseburg and Sheldon squaring off for a second and third time this season. Doubleheader for you today from Legion Field here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer, and you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
First, Cody Black.
Back with more of our pregame here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score, and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Roseburg getting ready for a doubleheader against the Sheldon Irish today, and it's time now in the pregame to catch up with head coach Troy Thompson. It's our Fisher's Hearth and Home pregame coaches interview, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. That's Fisher's Hearth and Home. And Coach Thompson here with us now. And Coach, you guys coming off again another loss there against South Medford, a tough one for you guys here at home. Another opportunities there, but when you guys kind of end up falling short in a game where you had your chances, what's the best way to try and get the team to bounce back and kind of get back into a groove as you guys get ready for a big important doubleheader here against Sheldon today?
Well, you said it. We certainly had our chances and opportunities against South Medford on Tuesday, so you can't dwell on those things, can't make a season decision based on one game, that type of thing. So we just had to stay with it and moving forward, and the kids have done a good job of that and understand that, we were a hit or two away from maybe winning a ball game on Tuesday, but it didn't happen for us. So didn't change what we did or what we think or what our mentality is coming into today. It would have been nice to get, but at the same time we didn't. So we're on to the next, and the next is today against Sheldon here at Roseburg.
As you guys get ready for it, the last one against Sheldon was a nice one. Pick up a victory. Jace had a great pitching performance, and you guys win on the road. But looking back at the history with Roseburg versus Sheldon, that was a win that hasn't happened in a long time. To kind of get that, it's nice to see and build off of. I don't know, does it mean anything for you to be able to say you finally got a win against that Sheldon Irish club?
It was a league win, and we played well to get it and came out aggressive early, as I recall. Scored 3 in the first, and then got good pitching that day, and then scored some in the 7th to take the lead and able to maintain that through the final outs of the game there. So we played well that day. We were aggressive offensively, and we're hoping we can replicate that today, obviously, as we see Sheldon again here.
You guys get ready for this one. You're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, and you guys are in a nice spot in the conference standings, but big games. Do you feel like the guys, as you guys get to this point where you're getting close to being able to clinch a postseason berth, that the guys are being able to stay loose, or do you feel like this is weighing on them, that they know that, hey, we're getting down to these important games down the stretch, and these mean a lot for us if we want to be able to keep our season going?
No, I think we're pretty loose. They continue to practice well and show up every day with good attitude and come out and work with the things we're working on, and they've done a great job with that, not only this week but all year. So it hadn't been any different. I don't think coming down to the end of your league season, I don't think they're weighing it any more heavily than the beginning of the league season, because all those games are big, and that's something we talk about throughout the year. Every game we play is a big game, and we want to make sure we have a chance to play our best when we get those opportunities, whether it's in May or in early March or whatever the case may be. So we've tried to stick with that mentality, and hopefully today we'll come out with that and play loose and aggressive and have an opportunity here against a good Sheldon team to play well and ultimately get a win.
As we wrap things up with head coach Troy Thompson here with our Fisher's Hearth and Home pregame coaches interview. Coach, going into the season, we knew and there were some changes. You had some guys that didn't return after last year, graduations, those kind of things, and you got a lot of young guys that came up and were going to be big parts of this team. Team chemistry is always kind of a big thing, and be able to have upperclassmen be able to kind of get out there and be able to rely on young guys and have that chemistry going without your team. As you get to this point in the season, you've been around these guys all year. How do you feel like the team chemistry's been this year with the mixture of the young and the old on this year's squad?
Well, that's just it. That's a big part of what we try to do here, is to get our guys to play well together as a group. And for the most part this year, they've done a great job with that. Our older players, our seniors, have done a nice job with that, from Brody Black to Terrell Jacks, Cody Johnson. Pressure's on now. Garrett Russell and Luke Lucido. Those guys have been a big part of any success we've had this year, and they've kind of showed the way and led the way for our younger guys to follow. And they've done a nice job of incorporating everyone and everything we do, and they do a nice job of staying with their teammates and staying on them when they need to, and congratulating them and praising them when they do something that's worthy of that. So couldn't be more happy with how the kids have responded and come out this year with some openings, like you said, some changes that we're going to have to make, and our young guys have come out and performed exceptionally well in some tough spots, and they've had a lot of success there. So, we've been very fortunate this year to come out with the group that we've had, and it's been a pleasure to be here every day with them, coaching and watching them play, getting a chance to play in these big games like today. And all that's been a lot of fun for us as a coaching staff, and hopefully a lot of fun for the kids to go through as well.
All right, well, we look forward to it today. The Roseburg Indians getting ready to take on the Sheldon Irish for 2 here this afternoon. We'll have you look at your Supercut starting lineups when we come back as we get ready for first pitch. This was your Fisher Hearth and Home pregame coaches interview with head coach Troy Thompson. We'll come back with more of the Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show after this here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Here. Back at Legion Field as we get ready for first pitch of Game 1 of today's doubleheader. The Roseburg Indians and the Sheldon Irish getting ready to square off. It's time now to take a look at our Supercut starting lineups as we continue on with the final segment here of our Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show. Starting today for the Sheldon Irish, led by head coach Kellen Hobie. They come in 9-11 overall, 6-8 in conference play. Leading things off, Dylan Hansen, the catcher, will start at the top of the lineup. Dawson Prickle is in left field, batting second. Bruce Nealon will hit in the 3 spot, and he'll be the DH, batting for the pitcher Bronson Hill today. Patrick Herbert is your cleanup hitter. He will play at first base. Cal Morgan, the shortstop, hits 5th. Isaiah Lugo is the third baseman, batting in the 6th spot, followed by Christian Horn playing in right field, batting 7th. In the 8 hole is Dalton Hafner playing at second base, and the 9 hitter is Eli Sino, the center fielder, who will bat 9th. And that is your Supercut starting lineup for the Sheldon Irish here today. Let's take a look around the diamond and look at the defensive starters for Roseburg this afternoon. Look around the diamond is brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. On the mound, it's Zach Mandera, comes in with a 5-2 record this season, 41 innings pitched, a 2.39 ERA, 40 strikeouts to just 12 walks this year for the junior. The right-hander will throw into Terrell Jacks behind the plate today. Out at first base is Jonathan Stone. Luke Van Norman will get the start to this afternoon at second base. Cody Johnson's at short, and at third base is Caden Johnson. In the outfield from left to right, Doran Gillespie. And Garrett Russell in center field and Jet Black out in right field today for the Roseburg Indians. That is your look around the diamond, brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union. Getting ready for first pitch of this matchup, game one of today's doubleheader. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Your local scoreboard update, checking around the Southwest Conference today. Your scoreboard update brought to you by Garrettson Building Supply. Grants Pass is at North Medford for a doubleheader today, and South Eugene is at South Medford for a doubleheader today in the Southwest Conference as well. Getting ready for first pitch as Dylan Hansen will stand in, and we get ready to get today's action started for you here on The Score. First pitch in for strike one, and we are underway with today's ball game. Welcome in, everybody. Joey Keyran here with you. We'll take a second for a legal ID here in a moment as the 0-1 pitch, breaking ball will miss low and outside for a 1-1 count. Hansen leading things off for Sheldon. Last meeting he went 1 for 4 against the Indians, and it was Jay Stoffel on the mound in that meeting. Fouls one off, has a 1-2 count. Stoffel not in the lineup today for the Indians. We'll explain more throughout the broadcast. He's a late scratch today. That's why he's not at third. The 1-2 pitch for Hansen is high and away and leaving up the count at a 2-2 for Zach Mandera. Out of the windup, Mandera kicks and fires his breaking ball. Didn't get the handle on it. Came in high and inside, ducking out of the way. Hansen will have a full count here to lead things off in the top of the first inning of today's broadcast. The 3-2 fastball taken into right field. Jet Black will get there. Behind it, Hansen goes opposite field between the gap at second, and he'll lead things off. Mandera got ahead early but couldn't finish off Dylan Hansen, and that a sharply hit ball to right field to put the leadoff man on. Line drive through the infield. One on, nobody out, and the two-hitter. Stepping to the plate will be Dawson Prickle, the left fielder. First pitch, not showing a bunt. He'll take just a bit upstairs for a 1-0 count. Not looking to initially try and sacrifice the runner into scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the first inning. A moderate lead at first by Dylan Hansen, and a throw over that direction by Mandera will get him sliding back head first. The Sheldon Irish with a man on at first, nobody out here in the top of the first inning. Pitch misses just outside to go to a 2-0 count here against Prickle. Sheldon wearing their emerald green tops, white numbers on the back, gray trousers for them. Looks like pinstripes on the trousers as well. Throw over to first base. Mandera will get the runner back in with the head first slide. Roseburg wearing their home whites today. White tops, white trousers, black stirrups. Numbers on the front and the back in the orange, outlined in black. Runner on at first, the 2-0 pitch just off the edge, and it goes to a 3-0 count here for Mandera early on against Dawson Prickle. Second man up here in the top of the first inning. 0-0 ball game so far from Legion Field. Nice day for baseball. Comfortable temperatures, not too sunshiny, as a 3-0 is taken for a strike on the outside corner. Not having to squint too hard out there. Temperatures are expected to climb pretty good, though, throughout the day today. Looks like it's 64 here as we get the afternoon started. 3-1 pitch from Mandera, swing and a miss. And Prickle will go to a full count. First two hitters have taken Mandera deep into the count. 11 pitches thrown so far here in the first inning. Another 3-2 pitch for him. Throws over to first. The runner dives back in. Dylan Hansen, after his leadoff single to right field, back in safely. Mandera staring in. Will get the signal from Terrell Jacks as he gets ready to throw the 3-2 pitch. Comes together with the glove, kicks and fires. Runner going. That one poked in the air but foul. And we'll do it all again. The runner will reset back at first. Hansen was taking off on the pitch. And Prickle just stuck the bat out there to get a piece of it. Fouls it into the visiting bleachers over behind the first base dugout. The full count pitch yet again. No, Mandera will throw over to first. No tag applied by Stone over there at the bag. Another throw that direction to first base, and again, back in safely. Dylan Hansen, he's already gotten his uniform dirty. Going to have to get a laundering after this one. He has had quite a few throws his direction at first from Mandera here early. 3-2 pitch yet again for Prickle. He hits it back up the middle. It's going towards short. Johnson will take it himself, throws to first, double play. Cody Johnson at short, just to the left of the bag from our point of view behind home. Steps on and throws to first and easily beats the runner. So the Indians will turn 2. And Bruce Nealon will hit now with nobody on and 2 down. Much needed double play there for the Indians. First pitch is in for a strike. The 0-1 now for the 3-hitter. Nealon will take outside, evens up his count at 1-1. Mandera now with some room to breathe with nobody on base after giving up the leadoff single. Got a great double play ball. The 1-1 pitch is fouled down the left field side. Needing just one more. Mandera can get out of this one. After a little bit extended start, he can get out of it quickly. The 1-2 pitch as he winds and fires. Swing and a miss. And there's our first Good Vibration strikeout of the day. Good Vibration, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. The Indians get out of the first inning. It's still a 0-0 ball game. We'll head to the bottom of the first, and we'll come back with your Supercut starting lineup for the Indians here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
The designated hitter, number 20, Brody Black. The pitcher, Zach.
Bottom of the first inning, the Roseburg Indians coming up to bat for the first time. Let's take a look at your Supercut starting lineups. Visit them online at supercuts.com. Leading things off for the Indians, Garrett Russell playing in center field, followed by Caden Johnson, the third baseman, batting second. The 3-hitter is Jonathan Stone playing at first base. The DH, Brody Black, will hit in the cleanup spot, batting for the second baseman, Luke Van Norman. Zach Mandera, today's pitcher, will bat fifth, followed by Cody Johnson, the shortstop. The 7-hitter is Doran Gillespie playing in left field. The catcher, Terrell Jacks, hits eighth. And your 9-hitter for the Indians today is right fielder Jet Black. The lineup sent to us by head coach Troy Thompson in his 16th year leading the Roseburg Indians. Today the Indians will face Bronson Hill, a lefty on the mound. We'll take a look around the diamond. Brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union here in just a moment during this first inning of action. 0-0 ball game as the Indians hit in the bottom of the first. Russell stands in. Last time against Sheldon had a great game, went 2 for 4. He went 2 for 4 in his last game as well. That ended a 3-game slump. He comes in today batting .304 in his first pitch from the lefty coming up. Wind and fire from Hill, and this one out to center field to lead things off, but ranging to his left to get underneath it, Eli Sino will make the play in center field. One away, and Caden Johnson will bat for the Indians.
Third baseman, number 4, Caden Johnson.
Johnson playing at third for the first time that I know of this season. Stands in with nobody on and one away. First pitch of the game resulting in an out for the Indians. The second pitch will be in for strike one. called on the outside corner against Caden Johnson. The 0-1 delivery. Hill will deliver. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball. And quickly an 0-2 count now for Caden. Johnson has fallen behind here quickly. Comes in batting .327 this season. The 0-2 delivery from Hill. Slaps it towards the right side. And it goes through the legs. Dalton Hafner had one right at him and just didn't play it. A routine ground ball. That'll be the first error for the Irish today. E4 will put Caden Johnson on at first. Let's look around the diamond defensively. Brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union. It's Dylan Hansen behind the plate. Out at first, Patrick Herbert. Dalton Hafner at second. Cal Morgan at short. And Isaiah Lugo at third. In the outfield for the Irish, from left to right, Dawson Prickle, Eli Sino, and Christian Horn. 1 on, 1 out, and Jonathan Stone will stand in. First pitch in the dirt for him. So it'll give Stone a 1-0 count. Jonathan Stone has come in, top hitter on this Roseburg team this season. He takes outside for a 2-0 count. Jonathan Stone batting at .489. His average actually dipping just a bit. Had been over .500 for the last couple of games. He does have a 10-game hit streak going, but went 1 for 4 in his last contest. A throw over to first base and back in safely will go Caden Johnson. Stone last time against Sheldon. Aiden Wagers was pitching. He had a home run over the left field fence, only home run of the season for the Indians. He puts this one in the air to right field. Not a lot of adjustment for Horn, and he's underneath it for out number 2. 2 down now, still Caden Johnson on at first. And the Indians will turn to Brody Black to try and keep the inning alive. Brody Black DHing for Luke Van Norman. He has been serving in that role all season, the DH. Brody comes in batting .222. Runner going on the first pitch. It's outside. Throw down to second. Looks ahead. And no, just behind the tag applied by the shortstop, Cal Morgan. Just couldn't get it down in time. The throw goes to the second base side of second. And it was the shortstop ranging over to get to it. And he had to sweep back to make the tag. And our umpire in the infield says it's not in time. A 1-0 count at the plate for Brody with a man on at second. And he'll swing and miss for strike 1. For Caden Johnson this season. No, I don't have stolen base numbers. I forgot that I don't get that with the stats that I print out. But I don't think he's got very many. Pitch outside will go to a 2-1 now for Brody. Man in scoring position for Brody Black. He does have 4 doubles this season. That would easily bring in another run. 4 doubles, second most on the team for Roseburg. The 2-1 pitch to him. Swing, and it's hit. It'll get through the infield on the left side. They're sending Johnson to the plate. It's bobbled in left field, and the Indians will take a 1-0 lead. Brody Black will get on with the single, and scoring was Caden Johnson, and he'll get a nice celebration from his teammates as he makes his way back to the dugout. An error will get the Indians their first run as Caden Johnson reached on the error at second base by Dalton Hafner, and then comes around to score on the single by Brody Black. 1-0 your score. Man on at first with 2 down, and Zach Mandera stands in. Will take first pitch for strike 1. The 0-1 delivery comes in for strike 2. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner for Mandera. And he finds himself in a hole here. He will finish out this first inning, having his team giving him a 1-0 lead. Mandera comes in hitting .231 this season. The 0-2 to him is low and inside. And it'll go to a 1-2 count. Down at first base, Brody Black was off the bag a bit. Didn't get a throw his direction, but he saw the ball in the dirt, tried to react to it, and made the right decision as Dylan Hansen behind the plate was able to knock it down. 1-2 pitch coming up for Hill, trying to get out of this first inning. Mandera will swing and miss to wrap things up. But the Indians get one run in on one hit. There was one error for the Irish and one man left on base. We head to the top of the second inning. The Indians on top, 1-0 here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This county is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Back here for the second inning before we get things off and rolling here. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. Back at Legion Field, the Roseburg Indians on top, 1-0 over the visiting Sheldon Irish. Zach Mandera on the mound for second inning of work. He'll face the 4-5-6 hitters, Patrick Herbert, Cal Morgan, and Isaiah Lugo due up for Sheldon. First pitch of the second inning is jammed shot on Herbert. It gets trickled to second. Van Norman can't handle it. It was tipped by Mandera off the mound. He tried to make the play. It went off the end of his glove, trickled to Van Norman, who came charging in to get to it. He almost had a chance to make the play, but couldn't handle the baseball quick enough. And that'll put a man on to lead things off here in this second inning. And it looks like the scoreboard putting that up as an error. The question is on who? I think that goes against Mandera. As a bunt laid down for a sac bunt, and it's going to die on the infield grass. It was going to be a tough play for Mandera to make. He was the one that got to it the best. It was going to be a tough play to make on the throw to first, so he tried to see if it had enough momentum to carry across the chalk line and go foul, and it did not. So it's a bunt in play for a base hit for Cal Morgan. And we've got runners at first and second now with nobody out here for Sheldon as they look to tie this game up or take a lead in the second. Square to bunt again. It's taken by the catcher, and they throw to third for the out. Patrick Herbert goes in with a very awkward slide, but the Indians get the lead runner, and a nice play by Terrell Jacks from behind the plate. And they'll get the lead runner one away, and still runners at first and second for the Irish. They have been attacking the first pitch of every at-bat so far. Fielder's choice will put Isaiah Lugo, who just laid down that bunt, on at first. It was Herbert that was thrown out at third, and Morgan's on at second base. First pitch misses for a 1-0 count here for Christian Horn. 1-0 delivery coming up for Mandera. Checks a look at second. Ball fouled away for strike one. Quick action there. That was 3 pitches and 3 hitters up to the plate. Everybody going after the first pitch they saw. 1-1 count. Throw is high and inside against Horn, and he's got a 2-1 count. Two-one delivery coming up from Mandera. Fastball, it's softly hit towards shortstop and heading to second base for the double play. Cal Morgan didn't realize there was only one out. He took off running and easily doubled off at second. The Indians get another double play here. This one ends the inning, and they continue to lead 1-0 for Sheldon. No runs on one hit. There was one Roseburg error and one man left on base. We will head to the break and come back after this on CBS Sports Radio 1490. The Score.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
So far, a nice start for the Roseburg Indians. They lead 1-0 against the visiting Sheldon Irish. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Today's game brought to you by our friends over at Clint Newell Auto Groups. Leading things off for the Indians will be Cody Johnson, Doran Gillespie, and Terrell Jacks. Cody has had a nice day defensively out at shortstop. He has gotten a couple of double plays so far. Had one in the first inning on a ground ball to him. And one of our our umpires is down out in right field. Julie Deaver will head out, the athletic trainer for the Roseburg Indians. They will have the coaches for Sheldon and assistant coach Tim Sester out there as well. So we'll have a bit of stoppage of play here as they check on our umpire out there. I didn't get a look at who our umpires were today, but it's only a 2-man crew. If they lose one, we could find ourselves in some trouble here. And we also hope that, of course, our officiating crew is okay. It looks like it's a leg injury for the field umpire. They're going to get him up. Trying to make sure everything's okay out there. It is senior day for the Roseburg Indians here today. Roseburg celebrating a group of seniors, smaller group this year for the Indians. So it looks like the umpire at least is okay to be up on his feet, but not sure if he's going to be okay to continue here. They may be in search of trying to find a replacement ASAP. I think it's his right ankle that seems to be the issue out there. For Roseburg this year, Garrett Russell, Cody Johnson, Luke Lucido, Terrell Jacks, and Brody Black. Those are your 5 seniors on this year's squad. Of course, Luke has had just one at-bat this year. Spent most of the season on the DL after his shoulder injury that he suffered in the very first game of the high school basketball season. It was really unfortunate to see for the Roseburg Indians that Luke went down with the injury there early on. Didn't get to play all of his senior season of basketball. He has worked his way back to being healthy enough to be a possibility for the Indians, but he's only had the one at-bat so far this season. It came in a game against South Eugene, and Well, he's working his way back. He continues to go through warm-ups and through that process with the Indians. They just have not gotten to the point where they're ready to get him back into the possible starting lineup. But I'm sure if he was needed for a pinch hit appearance in today's doubleheader, they would be willing to call on him for that. He had a great junior season, and we were looking forward to what he might be able to do in his senior season, and unfortunately that injury has derailed that for him. They said in the pregame, though, that he's looking to go to UCC to try and play baseball there with the Umpqua Riverhawks. They're, of course, going to be going through some transition as they get that program up and running with Jeremiah Robbins, who's going to be coming over from Lewis Clark State College to in Idaho to come over here and lead the program here in the Umpqua Basin. It was Luke as well as Garrett Russell both sound like they're going to try and maybe play there at UCC in the future, although they will have to have a redshirt season next year before they get into it the season after that. And they're going to tape up our umpire here. He's going to kind of loosen up the tape. And
Mr. Wheeler, who's back up on both wheels.
Wheeler, I guess it's our umpire Wheeler out in the field. Looks like he's going to tough it out here. He's going to be a little hobbled, so hopefully he doesn't have to race around too much to get his good vantage point on the baseball, but it's going to continue, at least maybe until they can find a replacement.
Number 9, Cody Johnson.
Now the question I have is he not supposed to, maybe they're going to have him positioned out in the infield where he is now because he's a little hobbled. I think normally he should be down the first base line. I'm not sure. We start out the second inning here. We'll continue to talk about today's seniors as the pitch to Cody Johnson, who stands in from Bronson Hill. Had a bit of a layoff there. The pitch is outside for a 1-0 count. So Luke and Garrett Russell both talking about going to UCC to play baseball next year. I know Cody Johnson, who's at the plate now, has talked about Treasure Valley as he fouls one down the third base line. And he'll have a 1-1 count. Treasure Valley has been the place he's been looking at. I believe he is committed to that, so we will find out if that's where he does, in fact, end up. Terrell, they mentioned going to Lane Community College. I know his brother Trevin is reportedly there. As a pitch comes inside, it's going to bean Cody Johnson, and he'll head down to first. Got him on the foot, it looked like, or close to it. And Cody will head on down to first base, gets on. And the Indians will have a leadoff man on. Trying to add to a 1-0 lead here as we're in the bottom of the second inning. Doran Gillespie, the sophomore, will stand in, plays in left field. Let's see here. For Cody Johnson, that is just the second time this season he's been hit by a pitch. He stands down at first base with lefty on the mound, so you got to be cautious of that. First pitch is low to Doran, and he'll take a 1-0 count. Gillespie comes in this season batting .260. Started out the season fairly hot, has cooled a bit, and moved down in the lineup in replacement of Jonathan Stone, who's been hitting the best for the Indians all season, moved up to the 3 spot. Pitch is inside for Doran. He has a 2-0 count. That said, Doran in his last game, Roseburg's game against South Medford, back on Tuesday this week, he went 2 for 4. And he had a 2 for 4 day against Sheldon the last time the two teams met back on April 10th. I missed it when they were doing the senior day stuff for Brody Black, the other senior. I did not catch if he was where he was planning on going for college. Ball to second base is booted, quite literally, by Dalton Hafner, and up to third base will go Cody Johnson, and the Indians will have runners on the corners with nobody out. Doran Gillespie gets on with the error. Tough day so far for Hafner at second. That's his second error of the ball game. And Johnson takes third base on the error. And the Indians, with nobody out, have runners on the corners. Gillespie on at first. Johnson at third. Terrell Jacks will hit in the first pitch, strike 1. Terrell comes in. It's been a somewhat tough season for him at the plate. 171 average. but he has produced. He's got 9 RBI, looking to bring one in here. He puts this in the air. It's towards second, not very deep, is into right field. It will be the right fielder to catch it. Cody will run and then puts on the brakes. Johnson back to third as they test the arm of right fielder Christian Horn. Dalton Hafner almost did not give way to the right fielder. Almost wondered if a collision was coming. But Horn does call him off and makes the catch for out number 1. Sac fly opportunity does not work out for Terrell Jackson. Up next will be Jet Black. One away, the 9-hitter up at the plate for the Indians. Jets, first pitch, in the dirt, runner going. They throw to second. The ball bounces away from the shortstop. He can't hang on to it, and in safely will go Doran. The throw was short, and Gillespie gets in. Otherwise, behind the plate, Dylan Hansen. He has shown a nice arm. He's been getting the ball to second with great speed. Just that time too short, and it bounced away from Cal Morgan. Couldn't hang on to it to apply the tag. 1 out at the plate, a 1-0 for Jet Black, and Jet will foul it back to even up his count at 1-1. One ball, one strike here against Jet. Swings, line drive, goes up the middle into center field. 1 run will come in. Heading around third, they will hold Gillespie at the bag. An RBI single for Jet Black. Came in batting .348 with 10 RBI on the season. Now make it 11 as he drives in the second run of the game for the Indians, and they'll have runners on the corners yet again with 1 out here in the second.
Now batting for the Indians, center fielder.
Second hit of the ball game for Roseburg here against Bronson Hill. Top of the lineup up, Garrett Russell will bat. 0 for 1 in the ball game for him. First pitch, he fouls it back to the netting for strike 1. Russell did mention planning to head to UCC, wrapping up his senior year there at Roseburg High School. Squares to bunt, and he'll pull it back to pitches high for a 1-1 count. Garrett has had a very busy senior year. Started with football for the Roseburg Indians, starting on both sides of the ball for him there. Then into wrestling, where he was a state qualifier, and I'm blanking at the moment on whether or not he was a state placer. I believe he was. 1-1 count against him as Hill on the mound checked on Jet Black at first. Throw in is outside. It goes to a 2-1 count in favor of Garrett Russell. Look forward to seeing Garrett with the Summer Legion baseball team, the American Legion Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. Got a little bit of action with him last year, but spent most of his time with the Single A Club, the Pepsi Bottle Caps. He swings and fouls this one in the air down the first base side, but into the netting back behind the grandstands. Evens up his count at 2-2. Of course, we'll have American Legion baseball for you here on 1490 The Score. And also streaming with the video online at 541radio.com like we've had for Roseburg baseball throughout the year. 2-2 pitch coming up. Hill will deliver to Russell. It's back to the mound. They've got a chance at 2. Throw to second for 1. Throw from his rear end to first will not be in time to get Russell. The shortstop, Morgan, tripped over the bag, and the throw was behind him. He did a great job to get the baseball. He sat on top of second, tried to make the throw to first, but Russell able to beat it out, and the throw was not on target. So a fielder's choice will get Russell an RBI, and he gets him on base. Scoring from third was Doran Gillespie. Out at second was Jet Black. And the Indians lead now 3-0 with 2 outs. Caden Johnson stands in, and the first pitch low for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch coming up for Caden. Takes low and inside. Russell's going to head to second as the pitch got just enough away from Hansen behind the plate. Wild pitch. It was in the dirt. Hansen did a nice job to slide to his left. It hit off his leather, but he didn't get it into the webbing. And it just trickled away enough that Russell, with his speed, able to take second base. 2-0 count at the plate for Caden Johnson. He gets underneath this one to left field. Prickle settling, and he'll make the catch for the final out. Roseburg gets 2 more runs on their total, though, and they lead 3-0 here in this second. 2 runs on a hit for the Indians, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We will head to the top of the 3rd inning. Roseburg in front, 3-0 on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer in you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Swimming season is finally here. But remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
Well, that was a lengthy inning for the Indians there. They send 6 hitters to the plate in the bottom of the second. Zach Mandera, a long rest, especially with the delay at the start of the inning with the injury to our umpire, who's continuing to try and work through the issues. Got taped up by Julie Deaver and is working things through out there by second base. So a long layoff there for Mandera as he comes through. Will hit the pitch against the bottom of the lineup, 8-9-1. First pitch to the left-handed hitting Dalton Hafner is outside for ball 1. Roseburg baseball this afternoon brought to you by Travel Leader Flyaway Travel. 1-0 in for a called strike. Evens it up at a 1-1 count. Flyway Travel has moved locations, but not far. They made a little puddle jumper over to 1445 West Harvard Avenue from their previous location right next door. Pitch low and inside, moves to a 2-1 count here against Hafner. So if you're looking for Flyway Travel, they're right next door. Still the same phone number, all that good stuff. You can find them there on Harvard. 2-1 pitch for Hafner. He swings at a high one and fouls it down the third base side. He'll have a 2-2 count now against Zach Mandera. Zach so far has allowed 2 hits but no runs. 1 error for the Indians so far. The 2-2 pitch inside, and it goes to a full count. Another full count here for Mandera. He has gone to full counts against quite a few hitters so far here early on. That leads to his 29 pitches here so far as he just starts the third. The 3-2 is chopped towards third base, picked up by Caden Johnson, and a rifle across the diamond for out number 1. Caden filling in at third. Makes a nice play there, ranging to his left. Gets it in front of his brother, Cody Johnson, at short. Again, Jay Stoffel out today, a late scratch. Got dinged up in batting practice, and they had to pull him out of the lineup today. So he is most likely not going to be on the field for the Indians this afternoon, which depletes their pitching staff just a little bit. As a first pitch strike here against Eli Sino, the 9-hitter. Granted, I don't know how much they would have used Jace, but definitely would have used him for an inning if they could have got him. Another foul ball, and it's an 0-2 count here for the 9-hitter Eli Sino. But they hope that he'll be good to go coming up Tuesday against Willamette next week. 0-2 pitch now for Sino. Just out off the plate. It goes to a 1-2 count. Sino playing in center field. He had 2 hits in his last game. That was game 2 of the doubleheader against South Medford for Sheldon. He fouls this one back behind home to stay alive. He's got the 1-2 count. Sheldon coming off of a doubleheader sweep by South Medford. They've lost 3 straight. They did take South Medford to 10 innings back on Wednesday, though, as a pitch. Strike 3 called. That took a little bit to develop there, but strike 3 called, and going down looking is Eli Sino. I think even he was a little unsure on whether or not he had just struck out. 2 down now. That's another Good Vibrations strikeout. Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. 2 down, top of the lineup. Dylan Hansen stands in. First pitch, a fastball for strike 1. Hansen had the single to right field in the first. He'll pull this one third base side to fall behind 0-2. He went to a full count and slapped one through the right side for a base knock to lead off the game, but eventually was the first out in a double play with the next batter at the plate. Strike 3 called. He'll go down. Mandera working quickly, and he gets back-to-back punch-outs to finish off the top of the third. Strikes out the 9-1 hitters to wrap it up. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. It's a 3-0 lead for the Roseburg Indians. We head to the bottom of the third inning on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
Head to the bottom of the third inning. The Roseburg Indians leading 3-0. Today's game brought to you by our friends at Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg. Now the Roseburg Indians looking to add to their lead. They've scored in the first and the second inning. So they'll try to do it here as they bring up the 3, 4, 5 hitters to start things off. Against Bronson Hill. Hill threw game 1 of that doubleheader against South Medford. The Irish lost that game 9-1. He didn't get a lot of help from his offense. His first pitch to Jonathan Stone is in for a called strike. Stone 0 for 1 in the ballgame, flew out to right field in the first, looking to extend a 10-game hitting streak. Ball up the middle. It'll get through, and he does it. Now up to 11 games on his hit streak. Jonathan Stone continues to be one heck of a hitter this spring for the Roseburg Indians. Just a ground ball roller right back up the middle. Gets through into center field. Stone on to lead things off for the Indians. And I would be lying to you if I didn't say I did not see this kind of performance, this kind of season come from Jonathan Stone. It's been an awesome surprise for the young man as the pitch goes outside here for Brody Black, who is standing in for the Indians. The 1-0 pitch for Brody. Gets underneath it into foul territory. That one down the right field side and out of play. Stone, I didn't doubt that he could be a good hitter, but to be honest, you look at him listed at 6'7", That is a huge strike zone. Long arms, long legs. Got to figure it takes a while to get things going there. But he has been quick to the ball, and he's been hitting very well. It's a foul ball towards the home dugout down the third base side for Brody Black. We'll give him a 1-2 count. He has been a very pleasant surprise, and he has been an awesome offensive weapon for the Indians this year. Take a look at it here for Stone. That's his 24th hit of the season. Brody gets underneath this one out to right field. Frozen in his steps now, a couple of side steps to his left. Christian Horn underneath it for out number 1. Brody 1 for 2 on the day now.
The pitcher,
1 away, and it'll be Zach Mandera up next for the Indians. Zach last time up struck out against the lefty, Bronson Hill, who fires in here. And Zach will swing at the first pitch. That looks like trouble. It's going to fall in right field. Up to second base goes Stone. The ball gets away from Horn. He's got to chase it to the warning track. They're sending Stone around third. Mandera up to third base. And the Indians will add another run here in the third inning. The error in right field by Christian Horn. He overran it and then knocked it off his glove, and it got away from him deeper into right field, and it left him chasing that one down. That'll be a single with an error.
The shortstop, Cody Johnson.
And the Indians will score 1 and lead now 4-0. Up to third base went Zach Mandera. 1 out. And up next will be Cody Johnson. First pitch misses for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch coming up. They're going to bring the infield into the grass. And Johnson will hit it towards short. It's knocked down there by Morgan. He'll throw to first for the out. And there's 2 outs. Still on at third is Zach Mandera. He did not advance on the ball on the infield grass. They'll bring in a courtesy runner for the pitcher, and that'll be Luke Lucido. Luke will get in for his senior day. Mentioned he's just been rehabbing from injury, so hasn't had a lot of chances to play. Steps in to courtesy run for the first time this season. First pitch, a strike against Dorn Gillespie. The 0-1 for Gillespie. Swing and chops it foul down the third base side. So it goes to an 0-2 count now for Dorn. The 0-2 swung and fouled off again. So Gillespie stays at the 0-2 count. Two down here with now Luke Lucido in as the courtesy runner for Zach Mandera at third. The 0-2 pitch to Gillespie. Swings, he puts this one in the air, back behind first. Could be a tough play. Herbert going back. He'll make the play in shallow right field for the final out. Tough play there, but he knows how to track down a fade route down the line. He tied in for the Sheldon Irish during the football season. He tracks that one down for out number 3. Roseburg adds another run, though, here in the third inning. 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error for the Irish, and 1 man left on base. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning. Roseburg in front, 4-0 on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This county is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union. there whenever you need us.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Oh, we come back here at Legion Field. Our score 4-0. Roseburg in front of Sheldon. I have been corrected. Apparently, we are going to officially rule that a triple for Zach Mandera instead of a single with an error in right field. Apparently, I was a little bit blocked from it, but apparently Christian Horn in right field never did actually get to the baseball. He made a dive to try and cut it off, but never did actually get to the baseball as it rolled away from him out in right field. So a triple and a RBI there for Zach Mandera in the 3rd inning to bring in another run. He's on the mound here, had a first pitch strike against Dawson Prickle, and Prickle now will hit a trickle down the first base line and is thrown out at first. Mandera getting to it for out number 1. 1 away, and up next, Bruce Nealon will hit the DH. First pitch misses for ball 1 against Nealon. Bruce Nealon stands in 0 for 1 of the game. He struck out his first time up. He'll take low for ball 2. The 2-0 is a breaking ball in for a called strike. Ground ball, right side, in front of it, Van Norman sliding in the outfield grass. He makes the play at first. A web gem there out of Luke Van Norman getting the spot start at second. He had to slide to his left in the outfield grass in shallow right field. He pops up and makes the throw to Jonathan Stone for out number 2. What a play, showing some excellent range at second base and stealing a base hit from Bruce Nealon, who's now 0 for 2 on the day. 2 down, and up next it'll be Patrick Herbert. The cleanup man, it takes a pitch high and inside, backs him away for a 1-0 count. A 1-0 delivery from Mandera. Fastball low and outside. Goes to a 2-0 count against Herbert. The 2-0. Herbert got fooled there, reached for it, back to the mound. Mandera fields and throws to first for the final out. A quick 1-2-3 inning. Everything on the infield. A nice defensive play by Luke Van Norman helps make it a 1-2-3 inning. And Zach Mandera getting everything else. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's still a 4-0 lead. The Roseburg Indians in front on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
We start the bottom of the fourth inning. Roseburg in front, 4-0. It'll be Terrell Jacks, Jet Black, and Garrett Russell leading things off for the Indians. Right now, Roseburg, 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error for Roseburg, and for Sheldon, no runs on 2 hits, 2 errors for the Irish. Standing in, Terrell Jacks. Looking for his first hit of the day. Flew out to right field in the second. He takes a pitch high and away for ball 1. So we give Zach Mandera a triple for that one, which would be his first triple of the season. And looks like it'd be the second triple of the season, or third triple of the season for the Indians. A ball in foul territory, not caught. The catcher with the hardest look to get to that one can't make the basket catch, and back to the plate will go Terrell Jacks. Fourth triple of the season for the Indians. So Terrell popped that one high in the air down the first base side, but first baseman Patrick Herbert and the pitcher Bronson Hill, neither could get there to help the catcher, who had to make the over-the-top basket catch attempt and could not bring it in. The 1-1 pitch, Terrell will take inside and low for a 2-1 count. We'll take a look around the Southwest Conference. Got some scores to report from other games for you, as we'll get you a Garrettson Building Supply scoreboard update. 2-1 delivery from Hill. The lefty will wind and fire. And Terrell will swing and miss at a breaking ball outside for a 2-2 count. Nobody on, nobody out as we lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth. Roseburg on top by 4. The 2-2 pitch from Hill. Inside, and it buckles Terrell. And he'll get up, and he gingerly walks to first, now limping more, and that'll get Julie out of the dugout. She's not running out there yet. Terrell will head to first. They're going to get a courtesy runner for him. They would have done that anyways, as coming in to run will be at Mason Littlefield. And now Julie will get a chance to check out Terrell back in the dugout. Hopefully he's all right. The Indians do not have a huge amount of depth at the catcher position. Ethan Gartner got the start in the first game of the season at that position, but he hasn't really played there since. So a hit by pitch puts a runner on. That was a 2-2 pitch there. That's a tough one to swallow for the pitcher, Bronson Hill, when he had an advantage spot there. Jet Black will stand in with 1 on and nobody out. And the first pitch low and outside to him for a 1-0 count. So the courtesy runner is Mason Littlefield on at first. Showing a bunt, Jet will pull back, and he takes low for a 2-0 count. Showing bunt, trying to move the runner up. They had the corners crashing in. Second baseman covering first. Shortstop was at second. See if Jet shows again here. He is not showing early. And he is not bunting. He'll swing, puts this in the air. Foul territory, third base side. Could be tough to find. The catcher will not make the play again. Again, Dylan Hansen getting no help from the rest of his infield. Third baseman Isaiah Lugo looked like he had trouble finding the baseball in the sun. It's a hazy day here in Roseburg. The sun is shining, but with those kind of wispy white clouds overhead and a bright sun shining through, it can make it kind of hard to find the baseball with the glare coming through when you're looking straight up into the sky. And Lugo couldn't find it. Now squaring to bunt. Jet will pull it back. He slaps it first base side foul. And he's got a 2-2 count now. Tries to go with that slap bunt, or that slap hit, showing the bunt and then pulling it back. The 2-2 pitch to him. Fouls it back to stay alive. Littlefield on at first with nobody out here. Littlefield will take the lead out there. He has been a usual pinch runner for the Indians this season. The pitch inside, and Bronson Hill will hit another batter. That's his third of the game and a second straight. And again, he hits a guy with another 2-2 count. And once again, that is difficult for a pitcher. You've got a guy on the hook there and can't finish it off. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and they beans another guy. Runners at first and second, excuse me. And back to the top of the lineup for the Indians. Garrett Russell will stand in. Let's take a look around the Southwest Conference here during this at-bat. This look around is brought to you by Garrettson Building Supply. Garrett squares the bunt, takes high for ball 1. You've got Grants Pass at North Medford. Grants Pass leading 2-1 in the top of the third of that game. Roseburg fans should be rooting for Grants Pass there. And South Eugene at South Medford. South Medford is leading 7-1 in the top of the 5th. Bunt laid down by Russell. Could be a tough play. Pitcher gets to it. Nowhere to go with it. And everybody's safe. Hill got to the baseball. He looked to third. No play there. Then he looked to second. No play. And he didn't even attempt to look to first because by that time, Garrett Russell was already to the bag. So the bunt defense doesn't work out for the Irish. A bunt single for Russell. 1 for 3 on the day for him now. And the bases are loaded for Roseburg with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They already lead 4-0, trying to add to it here. Caden Johnson will stand in. First pitch, swinging, line drive, caught it third, tagged the bag for the double play, and unlucky for Roseburg. And Sheldon will catch a break there. First pitch swinging for Johnson, lines out to Isaiah Lugo, who then stumbles to the bag for the double play, doubling off Mason Littlefield. Littlefield had no time to react to that one. That's not his fault, just a bad series of events for the Roseburg Indians. And just like that, 2 outs now with runners at first and second. Ground ball third base side goes foul for Jonathan Stone. Boy, how quickly things can turn. Just quick reactions there for Lugo. Makes the nice play. 0-1 pitch coming up here for Stone. He'll take high and inside for a 1-1 count. Stone picked up his first hit of the game back in the 3rd inning. 1 for 2 today. Has that 11-game hit streak going. Stands in here. An RBI opportunity for him if he can get a base knock. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Right through it. Nice hard cut. Just couldn't locate it. Now this would be highly unfortunate if the Indians can't get a run here this half inning after getting the bases loaded with nobody out. The 1-2 pitch for Stone. He'll take inside. And it hit him. That's the 3rd hit batter of this frame for Roseburg. And Bronson Hill has now hit 4 batters in this game. Still no visit from the dugout with their pitcher struggling a little bit. That is now 3 batters hit this inning. All of them had 2 strikes against him. Bases loaded again, and Brody Black will hit. Nobody warming up in the bullpen for Sheldon. The first pitch to Black is in the dirt for ball 1. So a double play. That line drive, if it wasn't caught on the ball, on the hit by Caden Johnson, if that's not caught, that's multiple runs for the Indians. Here's a line drive up the middle that will score at least 1. They're going to send Russell around third. The throw to the plate looks offline, and it is, and Russell will score as well. Brody Black gets his 2nd hit of the day, and he's now got 3 RBIs as he drives in 2 with the single. And the Indians now take a 6-0 lead here in the 4th. Scoring from third was Jet Black, and around from second comes Garrett Russell. First to second for Jonathan Stone. Brody Black on at first, and the Indians on top 6-0. Up to hit next, Zach Mandera. He had the triple back in the 3rd to score a run. First pitch swinging. This one in the air out towards center. Softly hit. Drops in for a fair ball. And in to score will come Jonathan Stone. And the Indians add another one with 2 outs. 3 runs in here in the 4th. And Roseburg on top 7-0. Brody Black moves up to second base. And a courtesy runner will come on for Zach Mandera.
Batter, shortstop, number 9.
That's just a little looper that gets over the top of the second baseman. Up next will be Cody Johnson. 2 runners on with 2 outs, and the first pitch is outside for ball 1. 7-0 your score. Brody Black at second. The courtesy runner at first for the pitcher is Luke Lucido. 2-0 count at the plate for Cody. Pitch. Hill delivers. It's a ground ball towards third. Booted a bit. Race to the bag. Did he get in safely? And they'll appeal to the home plate umpire, who's going to say Brody Black out at third. Bobbled at third base. Isaiah Lugo almost couldn't get to the bag in time, but they'll make the final out at third. The Indians add 3 more runs to their total here in the 4th. Roseburg on top 7-0 as we head to the top of the 5th inning on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer, and you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Swimming season is finally here. But remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
Zach Mandera still throwing for the Roseburg Indians as we begin the top of the 5th inning. The Irish do have somebody warming up here this half inning in the bullpen. A right-hander out there. I believe that's Dalton Hafner that's throwing. And if we do get a call to the pen throughout this ball game, pitching changes always brought to you by Shelby and Migulena Construction. 7-0 our score as we start the top of the 5th inning. Leading things off for Sheldon will be Cal Morgan. The shortstop puts it towards third, and it will get into left field, unable to get to it. Caden Johnson, or Cody Johnson, goes right between the two. Cal Morgan now 2 for 2 on the day, had a bunt single back in the 2nd, leads things off with a single here in the 5th.
Now batting, third baseman, Isaiah Lugo.
1 on, nobody out. Isaiah Lugo will stand in. He is 0 for 1 in the game, reached on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd. Time called as they need somebody down to the bullpen to protect the pitcher down there. 5th inning here for us. One on and nobody out for the Irish. Terrell Jacks does stay in the game back behind the plate, in case you were wondering. After getting beamed by a pitch there in the 4th inning, he got a nice break as the Indians sent 8 hitters to the plate. And seems to be good as he stays in the game back behind the dish. First pitch is low for Isaiah Lugo. The third baseman standing in. He was busy in that last half inning defensively, made the double play at third, and then finally made the final out after bobbling it a little bit as a pitch on the inside corner called for a strike, evens it up, 1-1 count. Roseburg has scored in every inning, 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and 3 in the fourth. As a throw over to first. Mandera won't get it there in time. Roseburg, I will tell you this now, has a chance to clinch a playoff spot here today. If they get 2 wins against this Sheldon team, and if North Medford loses at least once, Roseburg will have a chance. Another ball through the gap at short. Back-to-back grounders through that left side hole. And the Irish will get 2 runners on to start out this 5th inning. Got to be frustrating for those left side infielders, Caden and Cody Johnson. Those ground balls always look reachable, but they just keep bouncing right by you as they head out at the left field. Frustrating as an infielder not be able to get to it, and back-to-back batters going to the same spot. 2 on, nobody out. Christian Horn stands in, and the first pitch to the right fielder is called for a strike. Zach Mandera, 2 hits here in the 5th inning. First hits that he's given up since the second. He's given up a total of 4 hits so far in the ballgame to the Irish. He shut him out, though, as he'll step off the mound before the 0-1 pitch coming up to Christian Horn. Horn is 0 for 1 in the game, lined out to shortstop, and it was a inning-ending double play as Cody Johnson is able to get to the bag to double off the runner at second. The 0-1 pitch in for strike 2. Horn has let 2 pitches go by, and he falls behind. Nobody throwing in the bullpen for the Indians. Zach Mandera, take a look at it here real quick. 0-2 pitch coming. Kicks and fires, swing and a miss. The ball in the dirt. And they've got 2 runners at first, and they are now going to call the runner out. First and second base occupied. Confusion there by the Irish, and the batter is out. With the swing and the miss, that's another good vibration strikeout.
The batter, second baseman, Dalton Hafner.
1 out, runner still at first and second. And the first pitch misses to the lefty, Dalton Hafner. Left-handed batter, he's a right-handed thrower. And I do believe he was the arm just getting loose in the bullpen. 1-0 pitch to him. Takes low and inside for a 2-0 count. Out at second base, Cal Morgan, and at first, Isaiah Lugo. Hafner did throw a little bit in the doubleheader on Wednesday against South Medford. And he'll chop one towards third. Johnson will go to second for 1, throw to first for 2. Got him, and that's an inning-ending double play yet again for the Roseburg Indians. Caden Johnson to Luke Van Norman, over to Jonathan Stone to wrap up things here in the top of the 5th and keep it a 7-0 lead for the Roseburg Indians. For Sheldon in the 5th, no runs on 2 hits, no errors for the Indians, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball on CBS Sports Radio, 1490, The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
Sun's starting to shine a little bit brighter here as we make our way through the afternoon. Let's go ahead and pause for a station ID You're listening to Roseburg Baseball here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
The new pitcher for Sheldon is number 4, Dalton Hafner. Taking over at second base, number 2.
At Legion Field, the Indians on top of the Irish, 7-0 as we start the bottom of the 5th. Joey Keyran here with you. Brenton Cranford back in the studio, running things on the radio side of today's production. Of course, you can also watch the game streaming live for free at 541radio.com. Leading things off for the Indians will be Doran Gillespie, third time to the plate for him. He will face a new pitcher, and he'll immediately put it into left field. First pitch swinging against... It is Dalton Hafner who comes in to pitch. And Gillespie will get the first hit against him. And that's the first hit of the game for Doran Gillespie. And 1 on, nobody out, and Terrell Jacks gets that chance to hit for a third time. 0 for 1 of the game. Hit by pitch his last time up. Throw over to first to check on Gillespie. For the new pitcher, Dalton Hafner, who moves from second base to the mound. And we'll check and see who they have out at second now. Pitch just misses outside to Terrell. It's Caleb Victor that'll take over at second. Hafner misses low. It is a 3-0 count now for Terrell, and he'll take a 2-0 count, and he takes a strike to make it a 2-1 count. Two-one, left side, through the infield, into left field for a base knock, and Terrell will have his first hit of the game. Gillespie will move up to second base, bobbled a bit in left field by Dawson Prickle, but he'll get it back in quickly enough to hold Gillespie to just one bag. First hit of the game for Terrell as he picks up a much-needed base knock. And the Indians will have runners at first and second with nobody out, starting things off here in the 5th inning. A courtesy runner comes on for the catcher, Terrell Jacks. It is Mason Littlefield again. Two on, and nobody out in the first pitch inside against Jet Black. One-0 delivery here for Jet, and he'll take right down the middle for strike one. On the day today, Jet Black, 1 for 1, had a single in the second to drive in a run. And then was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning and scored a run that inning. The 1-1 low and outside for a 2-1 count. 2 balls, 1 strike here against Jet Black. Out at first base, Mason Littlefield running for Terrell Jacks. Doran Gillespie's out at second. Ground ball towards third. Lugo comes up with it. He's going to run to third, and that'll be the only play he can make. He must not have saw an option at second base to try and get the out there and try and turn the double play. He hesitated, looked to try and maybe tag the runner, and then realized he was just going to run to the bag to get the out at third. They only get 1 out of it. Jet Black gets on with the fielder's choice. Doran Gillespie forced out at third. Up to second base goes Mason Littlefield. First and second still for the Indians, 1 out. First pitch misses high here for Garrett Russell as we go back to the top of the lineup. Russell on the day, 1 for 3. Puts this one right back up the middle. Line drive shot, gets in, coming around to score. The throw to the plate cut off, the throw not in time. Littlefield will score from second in place of Terrell Jacks. And coming up with the RBI single, his second of the day, Garrett Russell brings in another run. 2 for 4 on the day for Garrett Russell, 2 RBI and a run scored, and the Indians on top 8-0. They need 2 more to finish this one here in the 5th. 1 out, and up next, Caden Johnson, who's had a tough luck day. He's 0 for 3. One out. First pitch here now for Johnson is in the dirt. Swinging this one to left field. Well struck. Diving for it and able to come up with the play. Dawson Prickle in left field makes the grab. That one, I think, kind of confused him a little bit. He wasn't sure in between whether or not he was going to be able to get to it, and lays out head first at the last moment to make the play. And again, a tough luck day for Caden Johnson. Some well-struck balls. They just haven't fallen in. So 2 down now, and Jonathan Stone will hit. First pitch outside to him for ball 1. Stone stands in, 1 for 2 today. Hit by a pitch in this contest. One of 4 batters that have been hit by the Sheldon pitchers. Stone takes a strike to even up his count 1-1. He has scored twice. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball in for strike 2. Roseburg did have, it looked like Brody Black warming up in the bullpen, may come on for a relief appearance. He's only had 1 appearance on the mound this season and pitched an inning and a third as time called. Could just be a precaution, or they may just want to try and, with the healthy lead, they've got an opportunity to maybe give some rest to Zach Mandera and not make him go the entire game. The 1-2 for Stone is inside. He takes for a 2-2 count. Close one there. Breaking ball almost caught that inside edge. But Stone lets it go by, evens it up. At first base, Garrett Russell. At second base, Jet Black. The 2-2. Fouled away. This could be playable down the first base side. Herbert underneath it for the final out. So the Indians will get 1 more. They've scored in every inning so far, and they lead 8-0 on top of the Sheldon Irish. 1 run on 3 hits in this frame. There were no errors for the Irish, and 2 men left on base. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Indians in front by 8 on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This county is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
We head to the top of the 6th inning. Roseburg baseball here on The Score. And streaming at 541radio.com. The Indians on top 8-0 as the Irish will come up to hit here in the top of the 6th with their 9-1-2 hitters. Eli Sino will head to the plate first against Zach Mandera, who stays in the mound. Well, they had the call to the pen in the 5th inning for Sheldon. And, of course, calls to the pen brought to you by Shelby and Migulena Construction. As the first pitch, Sino will take into left field for a base knock. Leads things off for the Irish. Gets a man on base. 5th hit of the game for the Irish against Zach Mandera.
The batter, catcher, number 3.
So that Shelby and Migulena Construction call to the pen. We'll get you the final line on Bronson Hill now that we've put that together. Top of the lineup here, Dylan Hansen will foul away the first pitch for strike 1. So Hill goes 4 innings, gave up 7 hits, 7 runs, 4 earned, no walks, and 1 strikeout. He hit 4 batters in there as well. So this will be his loss if it stays in Roseburg's favor. As a pitch in the dirt, we'll go to a 1-1 count now for Hansen. So Bronson Hill came out in favor of Dalton Hafner, who gave up 3 hits and 1 run there in the 5th. 1-1 pitch for Mandera with a man on at first and nobody out. The pitch outside goes to a 2-1 count. Shelby and Migulena Construction, your local leaders for any project big or small. 30 years of quality, affordable work. Call Shelby and Migulena or visit their website, webuildhouses.com. 2-1 is low for a 3-1 count for Mandera. Zach, this is a very typical start for him. Seems to always have a little bit of issues in the first and then settles in really nicely. As a 3-1 breaking ball is called for strike 2 to move it to a full count against Hansen. He has settled in very nicely. He has allowed just 3 hits since the 2nd inning. He's got a 3-2 count here against the leadoff man, Dylan Hansen. The delivery outside for ball 4. And if I'm not mistaken, that is the first walk of the game actually for either side. Sheldon hadn't issued a walk, although they had beaned 4 batters. And until that pitch, Zach Mandera had not issued a walk either. He had 4 strikeouts, his first walk. And out to the mound will go pitching coach Richie Charles to have a conversation with Mandera and Jax. 2 runners on with nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. We'll have another game coming up for you after the conclusion of Game 1. For those that are watching online at 541radio.com, when Game 1 gets done, we'll end the video broadcast and then restart the broadcast for Game number 2. You'll just want to refresh your page eventually, and it'll get there in time. We'll have about 20 minutes in between games. Conclusion of Game 1 here, we'll have the Roseburg Disposal postgame show coming up for you, so stay tuned for that. During the postgame show, we will name the Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning Player of the Game. At the plate, Dawson Prickle takes high and inside for ball 1. Prickle today 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. 1-0 delivery. Ground ball towards first. It's taken by Jonathan Stone. All he can really do is head to the bag to get 1 out. 1 away. The runners both move up. Sino goes to 3rd, and up to 2nd base goes Dylan Hansen. 2nd and 3rd for the Irish with 1 away now. First pitch outside here against Bruce Nealon. I think that, once again, another moment where the size at first base by Jonathan Stone comes into play. That was a chopper that might have gotten over the head of a shorter player. The pitch outside and low goes to a 2-0 count now against Nealon. But with his size, he had no problem getting to that one. Good size at first base for both of these teams, with Patrick Herbert, who's probably around 6'5" himself. 2-0 count here for Bruce Nealon. Breaking ball. Look the runner back at 3rd. Throw back to 1st as Zach Mandera fields his position nicely there. 1-3 the put out, the comebacker. Mandera had plenty of time to get Nealon at 1st, and he stared down Eli Sino at 3rd quite some time before making the throw over to 1st. You make sure the runner's not going anywhere before you throw over to the bag to get the out. Very smart defense there for Zach Mandera. They'll intentionally walk Patrick Herbert. Put him on. They don't have to throw the pitches. Herbert gets the trip down to 1st to load the bases. They'll load the bases with 2 outs, and they'll go to Cal Morgan. A little bit surprising there. Herbert, of course, a big hitter, cleanup guy, a lot of power. Could be dangerous if he gets a hold of one, but he was 0 for 2 coming into the game, or coming into the at-bat. Or Cal Morgan stands in, 2 for 2 in the game, but he swings, check swing for strike 1. Bases loaded with 2 outs here. It's a 8-0 lead for the Indians. The 0-1 to Morgan is low and outside for a 1-1 count. So they walked the guy that was hitless to get to the guy that was 2 for 2. Granted, he had one through the left side of the infield between short and third in his last at-bat. Prior to that, he had a bunt that just barely stayed in fair territory. So he has one good hit, the other one just kind of a lucky spot. The 1-1 pitch to him. Takes for strike 2 on a breaking ball. Mandera's off-speed pitch, freezing the hitter, and he pulls up front in the at-bat. 2 down, bases loaded, 1-2 count. The rockin' fire is outside, and it'll even things up. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Morgan. Mandera trying to preserve the shutout here through 6 innings. The 2-2 pitch. Swing, check, swing, and he went around, and he'll toss the bat away. Morgan goes down with a bases-loaded strikeout to finish off the inning. It's the 5th strikeout of the game, and another good vibration strikeout for Zach Mandera. Pitches out of the jam, no runs on 1 hit, no Roseburg errors, and the bases left loaded. Still 8-0 our scores. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
The Roseburg Indians lead 8-0 as we start the bottom of the 6th inning. The Indians will send Brody Black, Zach Mandera, and Cody Johnson to the dish against Dalton Hafner, who's come on in relief. We'll have Game 2 coming up in a little while. And don't forget, coming up later tonight, we will have Oregon State baseball for you. Pre-game coverage starts at 4:30 as long as we get done with Roseburg baseball in time to join that at its scheduled start time. And the first pitch of that game against Washington State coming up tonight at 5 o'clock. Brody Black stands in 2 for 3 today. First pitch, breaking ball, misses inside from Hafner for a 1-0 count. Brody with a pair of singles. He's got 3 RBI in the game. Going to be a lot of candidates for our Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning Player of the Game today. Swings here. This one hard hit out towards right field, drifting back. And underneath it, Christian Horn. Initially off the bat, I thought that one had a chance to maybe find the alley out there in right center. But it drifts more towards dead right field for out number 1. 1 down with nobody on base for Zach Mandera. Mandera, 2 for 3 in this game. He's getting out of a bit of a hitting funk as he'll take low and outside for ball 1. Mandera was 1 for 3 back on Tuesday against South Medford. He'll take for a 2-0 count. So today, let's see here. Cody Johnson's on deck. He's looking to extend a 4-game hit streak. He's been on base twice, but he's been hit by a pitch and reached on a fielder's choice, so he needs a base knock as he gets ready to come up. Pitch inside moves Mandera to a 3-0 count. Zach with a triple and a single today. First time facing Hafner. The 3-0 pitch in the dirt for ball 4. They'll bring out, I feel like they'd bring out a courtesy runner here. And Cody Johnson actually not on deck. It'll be Luke Lucido that will come up to hit. And it's great to see Luke come out to hit. I just feel bad for Cody. He will not extend his hitting streak here today. Luke Lucido will get a chance to hit for the Roseburg Indians, his second at-bat of the season, after he was down with what we thought was going to be a season-ending injury. A 1-0 count for him. Throw over to first base. Mandera still running for himself. He gets back safely. Luke Lucido is without a hit so far this season. Again, only the one at-bat. The 1-0 pitch. He pulls it down the third base side. This could be extras. They're sending Lucido to second. Up to third goes Mandera, and everybody's safe. And Luke Lucido gets his first hit of the season. It's a double right down the third base side, and that's a big moment there for the senior, getting a chance to pinch hit for one of his fellow seniors this afternoon. And the Indians are going to bring in another pinch hitter. It'll be Mason Littlefield to hit here. The Indians emptying the bench. So Lucido out at second base. Third base is Zach Mandera. First pitch a strike against Mason Littlefield. So Gillespie not getting an at-bat here. Here's a ground ball up through the middle. They had the infield in. Couldn't get to it. Lucido heading to the plate. The throw is high, and he's in safely. And that'll do it. It's a walk-off hit for Mason Littlefield as the Indians get to 10 runs and win this one.
Two-run single.
And Mason Littlefield, the junior, coming up with the clutch hit to finish this one in 6 innings. The Indians score in every frame and come away with a 10-0 win against the Roseburg Indians. Coach coming out of the bullpen or out of the dugout here for Sheldon. They're just checking on the timing in between games, it looks like, for Game 2. Final score 10-0. Roseburg wins in a walk-off thanks to the mercy rule as they get the victory on top of the Sheldon Irish. Mason Littlefield with the game-ending hit there, scoring Zach Mandera and Luke Lucido to put Roseburg up to the 10-0 victory. What a game here today. Today's baseball game has been brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? We'll head to the Roseburg Disposal postgame show when we come back. An exciting win in Game 1 for the Roseburg Indians. And we'll take the 2-minute break on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer in you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
And we come back here at Legion Field where the Roseburg Indians pick up the victory on top of the Sheldon Irish. Roseburg wins it in 6 innings, 10-0 your final score, as they end it with the mercy rule. And the Roseburg Indians picking up what is their 9th victory in conference play. And they will look to try and get the season sweep against Sheldon. We'll talk more about that because that is a pretty big deal, as the Indians haven't done that in some time. We're wrapping up Game 1 here as we bring you back for the Roseburg Disposal post-game show, taking a look at how this one played out for the Indians. 10 runs on 12 hits. They committed 1 error. No runs on 5 hits and 2 errors for the Irish in this one. Roseburg scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and 2 in the sixth. It was a crooked number in every even inning number and a single run in every odd numbered inning. I'll get that out there. But the Indians score in all 6 innings of this ball game to pull off the 10-0 victory. The walk-off hit by Mason Littlefield, a single up the middle with the infield pulled in. Singles up the middle to drive in 2 and get it to the 10-run victory for Roseburg here today. Big victory there for the Indians. They'll improve to 9-5 on the conference season, 13-6 overall. Sheldon falls to 9-12 on the year and 6-9 in conference play. Sheldon has now lost 4 straight. Roseburg gets back in the win column. They've won 1 straight, and we'll see where we go from here. That is a look at how it played out here today. We'll come back. We'll get you some of your numbers from Game 1 of our doubleheader. And coming up here in between games, we will have an interview with Adrian Powell, a senior from Roseburg, a tennis player, the captain for the girls' tennis team. They're getting ready to head into the conference tournament. That'll be coming up next week, but they just wrapped up an undefeated conference season. Talked to her yesterday on my sports talk show, Off the Wall. We do it Mondays and Fridays from noon to 1, and we'll have that interview coming up here in between innings on the radio and streaming with the audio online if you're listening live to 1490 The Score online. And we'll have that for you. For all of those watching the game online, we'll reset the video stream in between the games and get you ready for Game 2 coming up in a little bit as well. But we continue on with more of the Roseburg Disposal post-game show. We'll come back and look at the numbers from Game 1 of our doubleheader. Roseburg wins 10-0. Today's game has been brought to you by Chuck Sorman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Indians victorious over the Irish. They've got 2 wins over Sheldon so far this season. They'll be looking for win number 3 in just a little bit. Back with more of the Roseburg Disposal post-game show after this 2-minute break here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Coming back here in the Roseburg Disposal post-game show, the Roseburg Indians victorious on top of the visiting Sheldon Irish, 10-0 your score. 12 hits for the Indians, 5 hits for the Irish. Zach Mandera picks up the win today. Let's take a look at how this one looks numbers-wise. Again, no runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for the Irish. 10 runs on 12 hits, 1 error for the Indians. Mandera picks up the win. He'll go to 6-2 on the season. 6 innings work, gave up 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. As he will increase his total 45 strikeouts on the season, only 14 walks this year. Taking the loss will be Bronson Hill. Went 4 innings, gave up 7 hits, 7 runs, 4 of them earned, no walks, and 1 strikeout. He hit 4 batters in the contest as well. Dalton Hafner came in relief in the 5th inning. He ended up pitching an inning and a third, and over that time he gave up 3 runs and 5 hits. And they were all earned runs, and he gives up the single up the middle by Mason Littlefield that scored 2 runs to finish the game. And that would score 2 runs to give the Indians the walk-off victory with the Mercy Rule victory in 6 innings. So a nice day on the ball field for the Roseburg Indians. Just talking with my counterpart from the newspaper side, Aaron Yost, who's here covering today's game and talking about the player of the game. There's a lot of candidates for the player of the game, but conversation did turn to Roseburg has not beaten a Sheldon team quite like that in some time, and we've talked about how Roseburg has not beaten Sheldon in quite some time. The Indians had not won against the Irish since 2010. Last Roseburg win against a Sheldon Irish team was on May 15th of 2010. In that season, Roseburg actually did sweep Sheldon, and they'll have a chance to do that again this year. That season, though, they did have 2 Mercy Rule victories against the Irish in that 2010 season. Brandon Jackson had 2 wins for the Irish on the mound, or for the Indians on the mound. Josh Graham had one of them, and both Jackson and Graham had home runs in the Game 3 victory, which was 16-0 in that one. So, yeah, it's been a long time since the Roseburg Indians have won a game quite like that against the Sheldon Irish. Taking a look at some of the offensive numbers for you here today for the Roseburg Indians. They had 3 guys with multiple hits in the game. Garrett Russell had 2 hits. Brody Black had 2. Zach Mandera had 2. Mandera with a triple. He had 2 RBI in the game. 3 RBI for Brody Black. And let's see here. 2 RBI for Garrett Russell as well. 2 RBI for Mason Littlefield, who came through with that clutch hit at the end of the game to score the 2 runs that finished this one off a little bit early. On the other side for Sheldon, and we take a look at their numbers on today's Game 1 of the doubleheader. Dylan Hansen had a base knock to lead things off. Cal Morgan had 2 hits in the game, goes 2 for 3. Isaiah Lugo had a hit, goes 1 for 2. And Eli Sino goes 1 for 2 in the game as well. They did not score, so no RBIs. And let's see here. Just the 2 walks issued to Dylan Hansen and Patrick Herbert. Herbert had the intentional walk in there as well. So a great day out there for the Indians overall. A lot of candidates that could win the player of the game, but on a day that anybody could have gotten it, let's go ahead and give it to the guy that finished the game early, because Mason Littlefield hasn't seen a lot of action in the season. He's been a courtesy runner for the most part, but he comes through, gets a chance to get a hit. And let's see here. Mason Littlefield this season, he had 4 at-bats coming into it, was 1 for 4 on the season, gets his 1 at-bat here, and it's an 2 RBI single to finish off the game early. So Mason Littlefield, congratulations. You are today's player of the game. That's brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. That'll do it for our Roseburg Disposal post-game show. For those that are watching online, we will end the broadcast of Game 1, and we'll get it reset for Game 2 here in just a few moments, so stay tuned for that. Just refresh your browser in a couple of minutes, and you should have the live stream back up and running for you here in a few. For those that are listening either online or on the radio, coming up in between games, we will head to our Dr. Komernick Family Dental Intermission Show is what we're going to call it. We'll have an interview with Adrian Powell, the senior from Roseburg High School, leading the way for the Roseburg girls tennis team as they get ready for the conference tournament coming up after an undefeated conference slate. They will look to try and get as many as they can to the state tournament, where they will try and see if they can place in the top 4 there after a 6th place finish last year. So that interview with Adrian Powell coming up next as we wait for Game 2 to get started. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll have that for you when we return after this 2-minute break on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Copy.